Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for all the support, all the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, and everyone that's reached out separately. I appreciate you. Cheers. Um, so, Today I want to talk about a time when I felt like God was speaking to me. And I feel like I'm the kind of person that feels like he speaks to me all the time, like he's always with me. Like sometimes I'm driving on the road and it's one of those mornings where I'm cutting it kind of late because I'm one of those people that will not leave my house in the morning without a shower. Like I'd rather be late without showering before I go to work. And so there are a couple of mornings when I'm like right on the edge of maybe she'll be late, maybe she won't be late, right? But sometimes when I'm driving on the road and all the lights are green, I'm like, that's God. That is God. And I feel like there's so many situations for me where I receive God speaking to me. And everybody's situation is different. And, it might be the universe that you think is speaking to you, whatever you believe, that's your thing. But for my thing, I do believe that sometimes God is speaking to me. Sometimes I'm having a thought about something or I'm flustered about something and a certain song comes on the radio and the words are just speaking to me. And I just feel like it's God in that moment letting me know that He's with me and it's going to be okay. So this is a moment that for a long time I couldn't talk about it without being emotional because I just felt like it was just God in this moment. In 2018, my mom we'd been in discussions about whether or not I would file for her, get her green card so she could live in America with me. So there'll probably be other videos where I tell you a little bit about our history, but just a brief um, history now so it can make sense to you guys. We do not have a great relationship. We've never been that close sort of mother-daughter relationship. We've never had that. Um, and for years it's been like that. We've never been close. We don't really talk. Even to this day, we'll do periodic check-ins every few months. How are you? How's work? But the conversation never really goes anywhere after that. I just feel like we never had that bond. Actually, I'm not gonna say we never had that bond. I think that before my mother started having other kids, we were pretty good because my earliest memories of my mother are pretty good. I remember her taking me everywhere with her before she had other kids, and we were, like joined at the hip. And then she had other kids when I was 6, and then my life changed. And I just feel like we were never able to form a bond. But there's a lot of history and a lot of trauma and a lot deeper stories that hopefully I'll explore in later videos just based on my emotional state. So anyways, we were discussing me filing for her to come in 2018. So in order for me to file for her, I was gonna she had to come over here and live with me, and then I would, submit the paperwork and everything. So I think maybe like a year or two before 2018, she had come to visit me. And when she came to visit me, it was not a great visit. She was supposed to stay with me for about 2 weeks. And I think the visit lasted about 5 days, if I'm remembering correctly. It definitely did not last a full week, I don't think. I think that personality wise, we're so different. And when she came, I had a routine. I was going to work, I would pick up my son, help him with whatever homework he had, make his dinner, put him to bed. That was my routine during the week. And on the weekends, I like go out to eat, try any restaurant, because that's my thing. And so I don't know what her expectations were, but they obviously were not that. And I guess she wasn't having a good time. She ended up calling her twin sister that was living in Philadelphia at the time. She still lives there. And um, I bought her a plane ticket to just, let her go because I never want anybody to be around me or be with me and they're unhappy or uncomfortable. So after that visit, we didn't really speak very much. And so when 2018 rolled around and the conversation of bringing her to live with me came around, I struggle with that decision because I'm like, if the last time you visited, you could not even stay a full week, why would you want to come live with me? And I was just like, this was a hard decision for me. It was so hard. I called a couple friends to ask them what they thought. I called other friends that had that were Jamaican, that had Jamaican parents, just to get a point of view from somebody that could relate. And my one friend, she was saying, that's your mom. You're not gonna always see eye to eye, but if you can help, just help. And so I was really, really struggling with the decision. It was around the time too, I was like, I have to buy a house, because if I bring her to live with me, at least in my house, she'll have her own room, I'll have my own room, and we don't have to interact with each other on any kind of deep level if if we don't need to. And so I bought my house, and I was still just back and forth with the decision in my head. And so this is when I feel like God spoke to me. So I was in the supermarket. I was in HEB. Shout out to HEB. I really miss the HEBs in San Antonio because they were fire. They had everything. And I missed them. So I'm pushing my cart around HEB. And your girl is kind of directionally challenged, okay? And I'm pushing this cart. And at the front of the supermarkets where they have those displays of cans whenever they're having a sale on something. So I'm pushing my cart, and I happen to hit the display, and a couple of the cans fall over. And I go to pick up these cans, and these two little girls, they run over to help me pick up these cans. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you. You didn't have to do that. I've got it." And they looked at me, dead ass, looked at me and said, "Don't worry about it. That's what family do. You help each other." And let me tell y'all something. I teared up in that supermarket. And for years afterwards, I could not tell that story without getting emotional. And I'm already getting emotional. I can hear the change in my voice. But in that moment, God spoke to me. And I think had I not had that experience or that encounter with those two little girls, I don't know that I would have made the decision to let my mom come live with me and, do her paperwork and stuff. And so I just want to say to everybody, one, I'm grateful to God that He spoke to me, because I did do her stuff. She's legit, everything's fine. But also listen for when God is speaking to you. It could be those lights turning green, or it could be two little girls letting you know that this is what family does. We help each other. And that solidified that decision for me. So yeah, I hope you guys have or had a good Monday, depending on your time difference. And I hope we have a good week. I hope to see you guys soon. Listen for the universe or God speaking to you, and proceed accordingly. Have a good night.